tie this up? I said, oh, Autumn's here. I'm going to tie mine up. And I'm going to come on up here because she is such a fashion expert. But anyway, without further ado, she's also a single mom to a great little boy. Don't you feel like you know him? Like, I feel like I know him. He's so amazing. But without further ado, let's bring up Autumn Calabrese. Thank you. What an amazing introduction. Let me zip my jacket back up. The clothes are always customized because I'm too short. So whenever y'all are like, where are those from? I'm like, they were from Under Armour, and then I chopped the heck out of them. They didn't fit me. Okay, so first of all, following those three amazing ladies is actually really hard, even for the fitness expert, and you guys all kind of took the words right out of my mouth for this little speech that I have for you guys. So when I was thinking about what I want to get up here and talk about, I actually never get up and do like speeches, right? Like the Q&A is my jam. That's what I like to do because I like to educate and I like to inform. But sometimes it's really awesome to be able to get up here and just talk and to give you guys my message. Well, I did a post this morning, and it's so funny how the universe just works in its ways. Because I did my post long before I had any idea who was getting up here to share their success stories or what the heck they were going to say. But the post says, why choose failure when success is an option? And it's so easy to think that failure is easier than success, but it's really not. They're equally hard and they're equally easy. It's really hard to be uncomfortable in your own skin. It is really hard to wake up every day and hate yourself. It's really hard to feel like there's no way out and that you're going to fail again, right? It's also very hard to get up and push play and let me kick your ass. And let me kick your butt for 45 minutes to an hour a day. It's really hard to say no to the cheesecake and the donuts and the fast food. It's really hard to take the time to go to the grocery store and meal prep and plan. It's really hard to get your kids to eat their vegetables when all they want are chicken nuggets and french fries. So they're both hard, but they're both just as easy, right? If you're choosing failure and you just say, screw it, and throw caution to the wind, and you eat the fries and you eat the chicken nuggets, don't make the dinner, and don't press play, and you get stuck in the vicious cycle, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to not do anything, but it's not, because then you're stuck in the heart of feeling all those bad things. It's also really easy to get up and just push play. What is 45 minutes in a 24-hour day, right? And you don't have to be perfect during those 45 minutes to an hour. Nobody is saying be perfect. If you watch me in 80-Day Obsession, and the reason I'm using 80-Day Obsession isn't because it's the newest program, it's because the only program I've ever worked out with you guys for the full hour, right? 21-Day Fix, I walk around and get a lot of go get them. They tried to have me do that with 80-Day Obsession. I don't know if you guys remember week 1, but I was doing a lot of that. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm doing the workout. I'm going to show them how hard it is. I'm going to show them that it's not any easier for me. In fact, I'm going to make it harder on myself. Because while I do this workout, I'm going to talk for 45 minutes. Yeah. In fact, I do the workouts now, and I'm always like, am I that much stronger, or was it just that much harder to talk? It's that much harder to talk. And so I did the workouts with you guys to show you I'm not perfect. My balance on my right foot sucks. Sprained that ankle 4 times as a dancer. I don't balance on it well at all. So I'm over here trying to do single leg lifts, and I'm like this. You see it in the video. It's there. I'm gasping for air. More often than not, I'm saying rest just so I can breathe. Who did booty today? Anybody? Did you see me turn my back to the camera for a second? Turned my back to the camera for a second because I literally was like, I'm dying. So I sit down on the floor to take the loops off, and I turn my back to the camera, and I look at my sister and Jasmine, and I'm like, and they're laughing at me because they know nobody else can see, but I was like, I just need a second. You guys, it's hard. It's all hard. It's going to be hard. You have to pick your hard, okay? Neither one is going to get any easier. It's never going to get easier being uncomfortable in your own skin. It's never going to be easier getting diagnosed with heart disease, diabetes, knee and joint issues, or bone issues, osteoporosis, all of these things that can come from lifestyle diseases. You know the #1 cause of death in America is lifestyle diseases? How depressing is that? That's not a joke, that's a real statistic. The #1 reason we die is from our own stupid choices. And yes, I'm saying it that bluntly. Because how crazy is that? To have the choice to live healthy and not choose it. To have the choice to have something like Beachbody On Demand at your fingertips, $99 for a whole year, right? All the programs, doesn't have to be my program, all the nutrition, all the advice out there, and to ignore it, and to choose to be unhealthy. And it is, and I don't say that to be mean, but this is the tough love part that I like to give, is that it is your choice whether or not you are healthy. People say to me all the time, Autumn, why do you eat like that? You're so skinny. Well, I don't eat like that to be skinny. Great, that's an after effect, that's cool, 6-packs are cool, we all like it, whatever. I eat the way I eat, I exercise the way I exercise to be healthy. It is a choice so that I can live the life that I want to live, so that I can go out and do the things that I want to do, so that I can play with my son when he just goes like the dang Energizer battery, and I'm like, aren't we done yet? I'm so tired. And he's like, let's jump on the trampoline at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, no. And then he makes fun of me for it, because he's like, their back hurts. I'm like, I'm old, You gotta give mommy a break. But my point is that I make these choices not about the weight. I make the choices about my health. I can be real honest. My dad, one of the unhealthiest people I know. You wouldn't look at him and think that. He's not like super overweight. My dad's eating habits literally make me cringe. Wine and white bread kind of are his thing. No water, okay? He has 3 kids in the health and fitness industry. Myself, my brother's a chef, and my daughter's a Beachbody coach and a health and wellness coach. The 3 of us can't convince this man to eat right to save our lives. Do you understand how much it makes me want to bang my head into a wall? In the meantime, my dad is a man, obviously. He's had osteoporosis since he was 45 years old. In case you guys don't know, that's unheard of. He has knee issues. He has joint issues in his thumb. He's had back surgery. He had that when he was in his 30s. He thinks he blew another disc in his back the other day. His hand tingles. He's got floaters in his eyes. He's kind of half deaf in one ear. My dad is 67 years old. That's insane to me. And then he says to me, well, you and your sister work out so much. I don't know why you do that. You work out way too much. Dad, I work out 45 minutes a day. What are you talking about? He sent me to school to be a dance major. I danced 6 hours a day and then went and waited tables for 8 hours a night, and he didn't tell me I did too much. But in the world of working out, in my dad's eyes, I work out too much. And why do you always eat like that? Oh, we can't have any family traditions because you and your sister can't eat meatballs fried in Crisco. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. These are the arguments that happen around my Italian dinner table on a regular basis, okay? Some people are stuck in their ways. It just is what it is. My point is still, it is a choice, right? And here it is, my dad, who raised us in an Italian restaurant, raised us on pizza and pasta and subs and chips and soda. And yeah, I was headed down that path too. Until I was lucky enough to be a competitive dancer. And I was lucky enough to have a teacher that taught me differently. That said, you can't eat like that if you want to dance like this. You just can't, you're not gonna make it. And I was like, well shoot. What she said, I did. And that was sort of my path always. If I had a mentor, if I had somebody that was teaching me something, I too was the robot. I don't question, I just do. So when my teacher said no more soda, it's gone. I didn't even ask why, I didn't even care at the time. She said it wasn't gonna make me a good dancer, I'm done, I wanna be a good dancer. Okay? Same thing with everything else. Processed foods, yada yada, you name it. Same thing happened when I went on to competitions. My coach said it, I did it, I didn't question the process. A lot of times we get our processes questioned in here. And a lot of times, you want to do just that. well, I'm going to take from this over here, because I heard this, and then I'm going to take from this over here, then I'm going to take from this, and I'm going to smash them all together. Not all workouts and not all nutritional theories go together. Like, people are like, well, I can't eat carbs after 8 p.m. because Oprah said 10 years ago she doesn't eat after 8 p.m. Swear to God, that's where that started. Oprah. Yeah. Love her, but that's where that started. Oh, if you don't eat after 8, you'll lose weight. And then it was like, oh, I'm not going to eat any carbs whatsoever. Okay, except there's a part of your brain that only functions on carbohydrates. So when you start to get really forgetful, that's why. Welcome to the Atkins diet. And then there's people who are like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it this way, or I'm gonna do it that way. And there's all these different ways, right? You're making it too complicated. If you're going to pick one system, you have to pick that system, and you have to do it full out. You have to trust that leader, that trainer, that expert, and hopefully believe that they have put in the time, the work, the energy, the knowledge, and the research to put out the best program possible. That's why you're here with Beachbody, because at least I know we do that. I don't know what other people do. Can't say what other people do, but I know our process is rigorous. I know that when I sit in a room, boardroom with 10 other people, and we go back and forth, and I have to hold my ground against 10 other people about why it has to be this way and it can't be that way, because marketing wants to make it sound cool, but sounding cool doesn't work. I have to hold my ground to make sure you all get your results. Okay? So if you're gonna pick the process, you gotta pick the whole process. You can't say I picked the workouts but not the nutrition and it didn't work. You can't say I picked the nutrition but not the workouts and it didn't work. You can't say, I picked this part of the nutrition, but I'm still gonna add this piece in from over here. It may or may not work. You gotta trust the process. You have to go all in. But the choice at the end of the day is yours. The choice to be successful or the choice to fail is yours. If you're in the middle of a hard workout and you give up, that was your choice. That's the tough love part of it, is that is your choice to not push through the hard. My favorite thing about fitness is that it is a life lesson. So many people look at fitness as just, I lose weight or I don't lose weight. That's it. That's the eye on the prize, is I either lost weight or I didn't. One of the coolest things that have come from 80-Day Obsession is hearing just how many people's minds have changed. Just how many people's lives have changed. Not physically, the physical part happens too, and that's amazing. But how many people have posted or messaged that their lives have changed? That for the first time they're not afraid of food. Or for the first time they're not obsessed about the number on the scale. Because despite what the number says, their body says something completely different. Or how much better home life has gotten because they're now in charge of it. Or how much better their business has grown. Fitness is a metaphor for life. I say things like, you can do hard things in the workouts, because you can do hard things in the workouts. Right when it gets hard, that's the breaking point of whether or not you're gonna be great or you're gonna fail again. And if you just push past that breaking point, if it's just one more rep from the time you think you have to quit, you get one more in, you were successful and you have made progress. That's what fitness teaches us. Fitness teaches us that when it gets hard, we get stronger. That's what you have to use it for. It's not just training you to have a six-pack. It's training you to be strong at life. There are so many times things have come up, things have knocked me down, I've wanted to give up. Before we started 80-Day Obsession, we almost didn't film for 80 days straight. Carl almost flip-flopped it into being just a DVD program where we filmed 16 workouts and we were done, because I was coming off of a 3-week injury. I sprained my hip complex. It's an issue I've dealt with since I was a kid. Never really figured it out as a kid. But when it happened back in June? Yeah, I think it was maybe June or July. Anyways, when it happened, it was right before Summit. And I literally woke up one day and couldn't walk. Like, I have a high pain tolerance, and I woke up and I was in hysterics. And I was like, I can't move. I practically was crippled. I called every specialist I knew. I had my physical therapist at the house. I had my acupuncturist at the house. I sat on a tennis ball for the 4-hour flight to New Orleans to relieve the sciatic pain. Like, I literally rolled, like, people probably thought I was crazy. I had it in my groin, I had it on my butt, I had it under my thigh, I was in the aisles doing this. I was backstage at the shopping experience they had for us, and as I'm going through the racks, I'm crying. And our attorney walks by, who knows me very well, and he's like, what the heck is going on? I was like, oh God, he's in a lot of pain. Literally, that was me. He put me in a golf cart, he's like, get her somebody and get her some help. So they took me to an amazing acupuncturist, worked on my back, adrenaline got me through the weekend, I got home and I got a call from Carl. And he's like, I don't know if your back's gonna hold up, maybe we should change this. What do we do if you can't hold up for 80 days? Does somebody fill in? Like, does a background cast member stand up and teach for the day? And I was like, you need to stop talking. I was like, seriously? We're gonna be done with this conversation because the Italian side is about to come out. I'm about to go off the deep end. No, you're not putting somebody in my place. And I was like, don't you worry about me. I got it. I was like, I don't care if my leg's broken. I got the flu. I'll puke on the side and come back in. This 80 days is happening. You guys, that was my choice. I could have easily been afraid that my hip wasn't going to hold up. I could have easily been afraid that my cast wouldn't hold up. I could have taken the easy way out and just said, let's film for 16 workouts. I don't think I can handle this. We could have filmed for 16 workouts and it'd be a completely different program. You have the choice to choose success. And while it still wouldn't have been an amazing program and I would not have considered it a failure, at the same time it would have been a failure for me for choosing the easy way out, for letting fear win. And that's really all failure is. It's not failure, it's letting fear win. It's letting fear take you over and say, I can't do this. So when that voice comes in your head, you remove the word can't and you say, yes, I can, and you keep going. It goes for your workouts, it goes for your nutrition, it goes for your business, it goes for life. You can watch everybody in the 80-day obsession cast. 2 people in my cast just went through the most horrific divorces. My sister and Carrie, my modifier. They were in the thick of it while filming. They showed up to that set every single day. I couldn't make the stories up on how bad their divorces were. My ex-brother-in-law, let's just say it's good that things are illegal. Because otherwise that man wouldn't be here. What he did to my sister is unthinkable. Okay? It wasn't physical, but emotionally, it was one of the craziest things I've ever heard. In fact, when she called me about it 2 years ago, I was like, I have no words. Took my sister and my 2 nephews in and I was like, we're gonna get through this, we're just gonna make this happen. She transformed her life in those 80 days. She stepped on my set weighing 99 pounds. My sister, who's got a big old badonkadonk, lost her butt completely. When she showed up at my house, I was like, what is going on? Go eat a Snickers bar. She's like, I'm eating all the time, stress. And I was like, well, you need to calm down, because this is not okay. Like, you need to get back on track. She did, right? She had the choice, though. She had the choice to let that negative life experience knock her down and take her out and just change her life and the course of it for the worse, or to pick herself back up off the ground and say, no matter how hard it is, I'm going to choose something else and something better for myself. Carrie, also my modifier, same thing. Very crazy how similar their paths were considering they didn't know each other and lived in different states. But same thing, and Carrie actually turned the job down the first time I offered it to her. She's a friend of mine, I used to train her, and she was like, I can't, I think I gotta move back to Florida, I gotta get my girls out of here, I just can't handle this. She turned it down. 2 weeks of me searching for a new modifier, and I had cast somebody, and I was like, that's not the right girl, it's supposed to be Carrie. And she called me back up, and she's like, I'm not going. And I was like, oh, thank God. You so don't belong in Florida, you belong on this set. And she came, and she did it, and she crushed it, and there were plenty of times they sat on the couch in the dressing room and cried together. You guys see them cry in Weekly Obsession, where they're talking about, and they don't obviously in Weekly Obsession share all the dirty details of what is going on, but everybody goes through hardships, and everybody has a choice. You have a choice to choose success, or you have a choice to choose failure. That is my message for today. I hope you guys all choose success no matter what path you are on, and keep being brave because you can do hard things.